Hello viewers, welcome to another exciting episode of Ladies Lounge. As you know, with this show, it's all about women and girls empowerment. So just like any day, we're going to be tackling issues that affect us socially, economically, and just our general well-being. And today is no exception. So here are my beautiful, beautiful co-hosts. We have Kalisha, Tafara, and the wonderful Sakina. Welcome, ladies. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Yes. Oh, I'm good. But I have to say, you ladies are really laying it down. I just love how, I mean, that mustard color, you know, I've already talked about
Thank
it.
you.
That gets me. And I love the way you just put together.
We're vibing.
Regal.
Our colours.
Completely vibing. Kalisha, darling, you always bring it down, as you know. Yeah.
I'm trying to be like you working that dress.
Very glamorous today. Yeah. As you know, ladies, today we're going to talk about a very, very important topic. And this is women that keep their children away from their fathers. You know, there's this general notion out there that really kind of make men, particularly in single parents family, that make men look like they're deadbeats. Like they really don't step up, and it's just the women that take on the responsibility of the children. And I think that's the picture that's been shown. And if I have to say, particularly in our communities, whether you're watching movies or you're listening to something, there's always that depiction of the single mother, and then the dad is deadbeat. So there's this lady actually, her video has been trending on social media, that kind of just flipped the script around and said, you know what, she thinks, in her words, that she thinks that women are doing it as a manipulative sort of a tool to just have their way. So, for example, she did touch on like people that she know personally who are probably angry because the guy has left them for whatever reason, and they want to like get back at him, and then what they do is keep the child away. So, I mean, I don't know if you guys have any experiences of such, but it's really you know,
Kalisha, you sound like you are ready to roll.
You know what? Like I have, oh goodness, without exposing too much, I've been in a situation where, Lord, why am I saying this? I was dating someone and he had a child, and it was a baby, not like a 5 or 6 year, like a baby. And he and the child's mother had split in a really horrible way. Like, as in they were not on even really speaking terms. And she was literally using that child like a weapon.
Oh, no.
She was using the child like a weapon in terms of, she had moved on, by the way. She had another partner that she was with, and she would use it as a form of control. She would deny him access to the baby. It was absolutely crazy. I felt like I was in a movie. Police were involved, and social services were involved. And this is as a result of her finding out that he was in a new relationship.
Oh, no.
God. So this is something that I can actually give firsthand experience, and I can say that women do use children as a form of manipulation, and they use children as a weapon, and it's absolutely horrible.
It is.
I think it is really horrible because they don't think about the future. They don't think about their child, how it affects the child in terms of future relationships they'll form as they grow up. You know, the kind of environment they're subjected them to. A child needs both parents in their life. You can't have one parent and the other one kind of here, there, and wherever. You know, you can't do that. It's not right. I think women need to really, if you see or know someone who's doing it, correct them. I mean, tell them, you know, it's not right for your child.
Absolutely. I mean, do you guys think it's just women that do it? Do you think men do it too?
I mean, as a society, I think we are just prone to doing that. It's in our makeup.
What, as women?
Men and women. I think it's in our makeup to be manipulative in any which way or form, in different areas of our life as well, not just with children. But I think it comes down to the conscious decision as an individual if you choose to be manipulative.
Exactly.
I personally don't think that you should be manipulative in any part of your life, but hey, I have been and I can be if I choose to. If I choose to switch it on. No, I don't have children, but I personally, looking at my friends that do have children, have advised them not to, and they personally have made that decision not to, because ultimately the person that's gonna actually suffer through the whole thing is the the child.
Yeah.
And what precedent are we saying to our next generation to do that?
Exactly.
If all of our children were at a receiving end of manipulation like that, what is our world going to be like?
Exactly. It's not.
I mean,
healthy.
it's really good you mentioned it. It's both men and women. It's a thing that happened in society. And like you said, you know, like if I have to say, parents out there, yes, separation happens, divorce happens, but once there's a child involved, can you just please just understand that this is not about you or the man. Whatever issues you have, just deal with them. And when it comes to the child needs access to both parents. The child needs both parent equally. So don't use that. Find another way. Come on. I think that's low. And I actually like what the lady said, you know, because she was really talking. She went personal. She knows a lot of women are going to like sort of just pounce on her. And she has had some good and negative feedbacks as well. Like where people think, oh, she just wants to. I remember reading where somebody said, all right, fine, you've got your 15 minutes fame now. These men are deadbeats and this. And also, if we keep painting this picture, I mean, what kind of future are we working towards? Like you said, Sakina, especially for the children, you know, what can we do to change this notion? What can we do to bring about positive sort of ideology when it comes to these things?
I mean, I know a campaign, someone I know who works sort of he's been in media, he started a campaign for specifically targeted at black people, so black dads are not deadbeat dads. Basically black men are not deadbeat dads. And he's been on TV and stuff, you know, and I think it's amazing when if you put out positive light on and you kind of change people's opinions on some, you know, on a subject that maybe people think have a sort of one-sided view or opinion towards, you know. And the other thing I'll say with that as well is you've got the law. Like, I don't know if men out there or women who are, you know, in a position where their child's being used as a toy. If push comes to shove, I know someone who has done this. They've just literally taken it to the courts, and the courts have basically just said, right, these are the dates, these are the weekends, this person's allowed to see their child. End of. You know, unless you know the other parent is a risk to their child, then you shouldn't be doing that, or to themselves.
And no parent should have to go through that. I mean, if you feel one of the parent is keeping your child or children away from you, use the law, you know, seek help. There's so much out there. Google it. Okay?
Exactly.
Google it. And you will find that the help is not so far away. And I think one of the most important thing that parents need to do, because sometimes it's like some parents they're looking to the other parents to behave. You understand? Like to behave well, to behave properly. But if you can see they're not behaving well, they're not doing proper, in that case, okay, I have to say there are instances where I feel personally it's okay to keep your child away from the other parent. If you feel that the other parent is going to pose any danger, whether some of these danger can be physical, some of them is emotional. Because just like, you know, if this parent has the child and keeping that child away from their father, for example, that's a part of emotional abuse as well to the child. And like you said, is a child that suffers the brunt of it, you know.
I'm going to be an advocate here, it's not like I need to be, but what about in our cultures, in the African Caribbean cultures, where it is very taboo to speak up about those kind of things? It's supposed to be kept in the family, kept under secret. What would your advice be in these kind of situations? Because it does happen in our society and in our climates. What are people supposed to do?
I mean,
I don't think there's a wrong or right answer, but what are we supposed to do? Because
what are we supposed to do specifically about what?
About what?
So
exactly?
in our culture, definitely in the Ghanaian culture, everything you express or go through in a family, you don't go outside your house.
Okay, got you.
You talk about it inside your house. We've spoke about law enforcement. We've talked about social services in this country. That would be our modern day translation of our culture saying, don't speak outside the house.
Sometimes you need to make that stand because otherwise people are going to suffer and you're not really setting, and I mean, I know culture is culture, but at the same time, sometimes you just need to step out of that and be the person that is the anchor for change.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, who suffers? You know, when you're going through it, this is what people from our culture in particular, because it's the same, not just the Ghanaian culture. I'm of Sierra Leonean descent, and it's the same. You know, you don't want to take things out there, and we are, you know, taught to take things to the family. But if you've done it once, twice, I think that's enough, to be honest. And this is me probably speaking from experience as well, and maybe from what I've learned from my experience, is to say, take that stand, as you said. It's not even about change. Do what's right, and there is help out there. Contact the right people. Don't be scared to do it. You can survive, and you are doing the right thing for yourself and your child.
Yes. You know. I think it's important what you said. You can survive, and there is life after. Like they say, there's life after 50, life after divorce. There's life after every circumstance that we go through. It's very hard to understand or believe, especially if you haven't been through it. But when you do go through it, oh my gosh, it can be a nightmare, and it can be very dark. And I'm looking for myself because I haven't been through it. But in this instance, I do know people who have been through it. And everyone who has been through it, whether it's positive or negative, they've come out the other side. And they are living to tell that tale. Their children in their 20s, like, wow, their children in their 20s. But, you know, and they're great children. I can't even call them children anymore. They're young men and women. But yeah, it's so true. And it is sad that we go through this. And it is sad that it's something that is happening a lot more in our society. But it's our truth. And that's why we're here to talk about and expose and lift the lid off these different issues that we go through in life, so that we can actually support and help each other.
Well, thank you so much, ladies. This has been an absolutely interesting conversation. We're going to go on a break now, and we'll be right back.